Okay, then we have the fourth pitch by Karsten. It's let me get the name right. Karsten Gjefle from Norway, and Theo Brouwers and Frans Holhuber will be putting the questions after this. Are you ready, Karsten?
Yes, I'm ready.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Karsten Gjefle. I'm the founder of Sustainable Sanitation Design. Our work started when we were looking for positive ways for industrial designers and service design to be useful in the bigger questions. And the product, this is a urinal that is designed for women, and it was designed with women in Kampala. So one of our designers went into an urban slum in Kampala, discussed openly with women in the community without placing the agenda on sanitation. The women were asked, what would you like? What would you like me to help you produce or design? And the women who had great problems in terms of sanitation, they wanted a urinal in order to get privacy, in order to get security and safety into their daily lives. So after many different proposals in terms of shape, etc., we ended up with a very simple funnel that is tied up with a container. And this gives privacy to women, it gives security, and it also makes sure, and one of the challenges is of course to make sure that the urine maintains the fertilizer value even if it stands in the home of somebody for a week before it's collected. So that was the design challenge. So it doesn't smell, it looks decent, it can be stored away in a corner, and it's low cost. So we are assuming that this could be produced $3 to $5, and just by the fertilizer value of it, we think that that the value of the urine that comes out of this is approximately 50 cents to $1 per month. So the payback time is pretty rapid, and our goal is to create collection systems in order for these large volumes to come into the flower industry or to commercial farmers that are just around Kampala and in many other cities across Africa. So our proposal is to, we have researched how this should be produced. We have gone through the technical side of how it should be produced with injection molding and evaluated the cost of things, and just the initial investment that is necessary for us to bring this to market is approximately $250,000 in order to create the infrastructure that is necessary in Kampala, and then it could be replicated to other cities that have similar type of challenges. And one of the main issues about urine is that 70% of the fertilizer value of what we excrete is actually in the urine. So from a fertilizer perspective, we really need to focus on the urine side. And since Susan Design also does treatment, we need to bring the volumes out of the fecal matter, because it's the fecal matter that makes people sick. So we have to bring the volumes out of the fecal matter, not contaminate even more water, even more urine with the urine or with the water that is today being put into fecal matter.
10 seconds left, Karsten.
Thank you. So the urine is key, and treatment is also very, very important, and we reduce treatment cost and bring a valuable product to farmers through this product. Thank you.
Okay, a big hand for Karsten. Yeah. So Karsten, also to you a few personal questions. So how long have you been engaged in this initiative so far?
Well, this is the analysis phase was 2008, 2009, and then we set it up as an independent foundation in 2009 in order for it to launch. And during this time, we have finalized the development of this urinal and also tested treatment solution in Kampala.
Yeah. How did you come finding your testing grounds in Eastern Africa?
Well, it was in a way a coincidence because we had industrial designers in place in Kampala, so it became a natural hub for us to continue the sanitation work as well. And Kampala is a very good city in terms of bringing resources back into agricultural production because food production is in the vicinity and even in the city of Kampala.
Yeah. So there must be more kind of innovators around there, isn't
there? There are definitely other innovators around, definitely.
Yeah.
So
and yourself, do you have a sanitation background?
No, I don't. Social sciences, actually. So this is a question that just bit me in the behind and took a lot of my time.
Okay.
So it's...
Okay, yeah. And what is your next week's hurdle?
My next week's hurdle is to bring the financing in order so we can start production of this urinal. That's been my hurdle for
How much money?
Well, just the tooling cost is $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, and then we would need 10,000 units in order to start a proper structure in, for instance, Kampala.
Yeah.
And we need pre-orders from others in order to get the volumes because this is a volume game.
Okay.
And we need both unit volumes, but we also need more cities involved in collection.
Okay, maybe this day can help in finding good targets. Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay, a hand again for Carsten, please. Yeah, please take a seat. Yeah. And then I would like to invite Theo and Frans again to the podium, and then once Carsten is ready. Let me take this away, yeah. And again, gentlemen, please go ahead and put your questions to Carsten.
Okay. Well, again, compliments. Absolutely, very promising. I was wondering, how do you organize your distribution capacity?
Well, in Kampala, we have partners, both in terms of NGOs, but also local community organizations within the urban slums. So our job would actually be to link up with these partners, make sure that we have the collection capacity, and actually structure the collection of things, of the urine volumes. But there will also be some local reuse in the urban area, in the urban space, in local small gardens as well. So there's a combination of some of it coming out of town, being sold, and some of it will be used in town as well.
How long should that take to sell 10,000 units?
Well, it shouldn't take more than a year, and but the question is, this has to be done in quite a concentrated way. Because if we have 10,000 units scattered all across Kampala, it's an impossible logistical operation. So we have to find one part of town, one urban slum, one geographical area that has the need of 10,000 units, and then build the collection infrastructure based on that. And then we can start working on getting the feces out of town as well, and having that collection point as the urban, what we call the secondary treatment unit, where we also take care of the fecal matter.
And you have identified these areas already?
Yes, there are areas in Kampala where our partners already work. One of our partners has already set up 1,000 public toilet units for households. So there is a network that we are part of.
Yeah, Frans, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Your solution to me makes sense if there are two other elements which you have barely mentioned, and that is who will pay actually for that urine, and number two, what do you plan to do for the feces?
Yeah. We, in collaboration with GIZ, the German Development Institution, we did a market research for urine in Kampala. So we identified different commercial farmers, flower industry, what would be the volumes that they need, what would be their willingness to pay, what type of transport logistical elements would we have to have in place ourselves in order to deliver, etc. So all these elements were brought into that market research to see what are the off-takers of these volumes. And again, it's a volume game. And the flower industry, they need large volumes every single week. Commercial farmers need it for certain periods of the year, certain volumes. So it's also a question of making sure that we can scale up from the 10,000 and even go further, because the need is actually larger than those 10,000 initial units. The second question about the feces. Yes. We finalized the testing of treatment for the feces. The treatment methodology is what we call ammonia treatment. So we kickstart a biological process in the fecal matter by using a fertilizer, a standard fertilizer. Follow that process for a few weeks, and without actually having to be hooked up to the grid, we can bring out pathogen-free fecal sludge from this process. And that fecal matter we did it as a test unit that was built for approximately 2,000 people, and those volumes that came from dry toilets, septic tanks, and pit latrines were tested later in agriculture with one of our partners, and it works well so it's definitely a soil improvement product that has value.
30 seconds left. Last questions.
I have also maybe not captured actually how you are sure that your urinal is smell-free, and how that you have no nitrogen losses.
Yeah, and that is why we are industrial designers. We create solutions that actually take that into the product, so yes, there is no smell coming from the unit. When we tested it in Nairobi, the women were extremely happy with the product, to such an extent that we weren't able to get them back when we wanted to go for the next group. So we have been able to maintain the nutrient value of the urine during that storage phase in homes.
Okay, big hand for the panelists and for Carsten.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks very much, and we'll come back to some of the pitches later with the next round of panel discussions. In the meantime, I think we have about 45 minutes to go. A short mental break. I think the co-organizers will bring in some fruits, I think. Who knows the story of Dr. Sarfati? May I see hands? Well, you know Dr. Sarfati, I think it will be much more elaborated later on, but he took the shit out of Amsterdam 150 years ago, and he used it to grow vegetables and fruits. I cannot guarantee that the fruits you'll be getting have been grown with shit from Amsterdam, but I think they were biologically grown. So we have apples for you. If you'd like to take one, I think they will be distributed. Please go ahead. But please stay also in the room. We continue for 45 minutes.